Hello, everyone. We have just started our DevOps CTO webinar. And speaking today, we have Sylvain with us. We also have Matt with us from Fitch Learning. We also have Indira, who is one of our senior project managers. And then finally, we have Gareth, who is one of our technical directors and has been at the company for 10 years now.
So we'll start back to basic really and look at what is DevOps. So it comes, the word comes from the development and operations. And it describes a set of tools, principles, and processes that really unify the entire software development lifecycle. I'm going to hand over to Matt from Fitch Learning. Over to you, Matt.
The marketing team decided to look for another external agency, and the relationship was going to be different, where they were going to look after the whole infrastructure and also the source code. And this is where Cyberduck came on board. And from my perspective, it's really just helped because now I'm not involved in the marketing team anymore. But I still answer questions, but the questions are very different. They're a lot more calmer and it's more reassurance now. So, but the transition from ours to Cyberduck was again from my side, it was very easy. I was asked to provide various information like databases and versions, and so and by allowing that process, I don't have to think about it anymore.
And we're going to hear from Indira, our most senior project manager at Cyberduck, to see how she integrates DevOps on their day-to-day job.
Where DevOps comes in is in automating these steps and making them so refined and so streamlined that you can actually, automate them out to build trust into the process. At the end of the day, it's not just, pushing the button, but making sure everybody within the team aligns into the bigger purpose of it. What happens with DevOps is it takes it from that first step on that new project, that first UX stages, it takes in from that information and what we want on the requirement and makes sure we refine that and make that part of the planning. What do we want and how do we make it happen?
So let's look now a bit more detail about the various tools and how we apply them. So if you Google like DevOps on Google Images, it can be quite intimidating. There's a lot of information that needs to flow obviously between the stages. Like we've seen with the team members and communication, we want to avoid silos of information here. So it's really about picking up the right tools and make sure the tools can talk to each other. The most popular, we use tools like Jira that integrates well with a lot of other systems, ClickUp, Notion's documentation, or some tools that are more specific for your stack. As I mentioned, if all your servers are on Microsoft Azure, then the Azure DevOps will integrate very well and interlink everything. There are dedicated like repositories, just Azure Repo or AWS Code Commit, but more generic Bitbucket and GitHub obviously are the leading platform. GitLab, there are some others, obviously we can't show everything, but those are the main one we configure for most clients. So now I'll hand over to Gareth, who will take us through the next few exciting phases of the DevOps loop.
Thank you, Sylvain. So you've built all your code, and now you need to sort of compile it together to get it onto your server. A lot of the time now, people are using automated pipelines to keep consistency within your releases and building your applications. In terms of build tools, there are a whole sea of different build tools and pipeline tools out there. So once you've built your application, a very important step in the DevOps pipeline or DevOps process is testing your application. So then you want to be deploying your application. There's two different things here. You want to be orchestrating and deploying your infrastructure, and then onto that infrastructure, you want to deploy your application. So you've got your application into the cloud, it's working, that's great. But you need to be basically monitoring and feeding back into the process on any issues that you see. So monitoring tools is probably the biggest list of monitoring tools out there. There's plenty of products out there. Either the cloud platforms are pretty good, but if you want an external view in there, there's a few there. I think Nagios is probably one of the best that's you can install on any server, and it has the most detail, but there's plenty of other tools as well.
Well, thank you very much, Sylvan, and for the rest of our speakers today. If you have any specific DevOps or technical questions that you would like to discuss with Gareth or Sylvan, we'd love to organise a meeting with them. If you haven't done so already, please do go to our website where you can find our DevOps white paper and download it. You can also reach us by our Twitter handle at Cyberduck_UK or at email with hello@cyber-duck.co.uk.